Hello everyone, this is Divyashree. I'm into an IT industry from past 6.5 years. I'm into an RPA from almost 5+ years, and also I'm working in a OCR industry from almost 2 to 2.5 years. We have worked with multiple RPA tools, and also I have worked on more than 100 plus processes in UiPath automation, and also I have worked with 40 plus processes with the OCR extraction. I have Pavan with me, who has almost more than 5 years of IT industry experience, who has worked in UiPath RPA for more than 4 years, and also with the OCR has more than 3 years of experience, who has worked with more than 100 processes with respect to an OCR. So, welcome to the webinar, a comprehensive guide to OCR with RPA. So, just to give you an overview of a comprehensive guide to OCR with RPA, in this webinar, we are going to take you what is an RPA, what is an OCR, how we can integrate OCR with RPA, and what is the best practice, which is the very best thing we do have with respect to OCR extraction in an automation, that is especially in UiPath. How UiPath is able to manage to get the best results in an industry. So this is what we are going to cover in today's webinar. So let's start with RPA, right? RPA, the robotic process automation, the RPAs, we all know, like I think 5 years below the down from today, people were scared to have the bots in their industry. People were scared to deploy the bots in their processes. But today, the era has been changed. Most of from the very small scale industry to the very large scale industry, everybody using an automation. Robotic processing automation is one of the software tools aimed at eliminating the repetitive business tasks. More CIOs are turning towards them to reduce the cost and helping employees to focus on higher value business works. Whatever we were able to work as a data entry, maybe we were working whatever the repetitive task, all of these has been replaced by the software bots, which will be taking care of make sure the things going to work based on the rule based conditions, and also it is more effective than whatever we were working as manual, and obviously the data entry as well. So the robotic processing automation has take a very big impact in an industry to eliminate all the repetitive business tasks. And let's see what is OCR. So as I said, the era has been changed and most of the industry already knows about automation bots. Now the next age is about the optical character recognition, where we are not only concentrating on automating the processes, we are also concentrating on extraction of the data from the papers and put them into a digital. That is nothing but we have the capabilities to read the content from the scanned copies, whether it is a handwritten or whether it is a machine printed, based on the quality, based on the content, based on the structure of the forms. We are going to use a different types to extract the data. The OCR, meaning that the software uses the optical properties of the text characters in order to recognize the words and characters on the scanned page. OCR software can go through the documents and make the content machine readable so that they can be worked with an electronic format. This can be used for many different documents and allows many tasks to be automated. Right? So now, as I mentioned before, now we are not concentrating only about the automation, but also integration of data extraction, validation, normalization, and automation. So that is nothing but the comprehensive guide of RPA with OCR. RPA with OCR. Why do we need RPA along with the OCR? So before we go for RPA with OCR, let me give you one example. So let's consider we have a hospital. Hospital is the very a basic thing for all the people throughout the world. And definitely, not 100% people throughout the world will be having a smart devices to enter their data or to make it as easy as it is. So there are so many people who still used to fill the forms for the registration or for some reason in the hospitals. But we have seen there will be one receptionist or one person who will be sitting in the hospital and they will be entering the data into the databases into their machines for for the future plans or for the future references. So now what we can do from this is, as soon as the forms has been filled, whether it is a handwritten or if they have filled the forms in some other format and they're just going to scan it and send it to the hospital. So in that cases, instead of humans sitting and writing the data to the database or doing a manual data entry job, our bots are capable of reading those data from those paper, add that data to the database, and not only adding data to the database or to the some other processes. It is also about taking that data, and the bot itself has a capability to complete the registration portion. Not only about complete the registration format, let's consider after we have entered all the data to the system will automatically complete the registration, and once anything has been updated with respect to that specific patient, bot has a capability to just go ahead and process it, send the reports to that specific patient via email, and so on. So that is nothing but we are capable of adding an OCR content with an RPA. So as robotic processing automation and ML are evolving towards hyper automation, we can make use of software bots in conjunction with ML to handle the complex tasks such as document classification, extraction, optical character recognition. Why to automate the document processing? Why we have to do it? Because we already have the capability. We have a people who is there, who is working on the same task from past few decades. But now, why we have to choose automation over the manual processing, which we are going to do the process which are already there in the field from few decades. According to the UiPath survey, we have got 35% cost reduction compared to the manual document processing, 52% of decreases in error that mitigates the risk of the rework and related to the losses, 17% of reduction in time employees spend on document processing, and 40% of growth in employee productivity or the customer satisfaction. Definitely, errors has been decreased 52% because when we are doing it manually, there might be a chances where we are going to type, maybe we have done some mistake in typing. But in when we are using a bot, that's not going to happen at any point of time for sure. And definitely, the cost reduction, how it is going to reduce the cost is nothing but maybe in manual, if we work on the same thing in the automation, maybe we work for 8 hours or 9 hours or maximum 11 to 12 hours a day. But when we deploy a bot who is a capability of doing all this task, can run 24 hours around the clock on this task. So definitely, this is going to help our employees' productivity and also the customer satisfaction, right? Every organization processes the documents, yes. And here is a couple of the samples type of documents which each industry is going to process by using an OCR technology. In general, we are going to processes, invoices, receipts, purchase order, utility bills, bill of landing, passports, licenses, or any kind of identity proofs. When it comes to the financial services and insurance, accounts payable and accounts receivables, maybe something called a ledger, credited and debits, IRS forms, loan applications, and then claims, vendors onboarding, and compliance related processes. When it comes to the human resources, employee onboarding, resume screening, and HR recordings. So maybe we can just go ahead and see the use cases, definitely we will be able to provide use cases for each and every of these kind of document extractions, going forward in our upcoming webinars, or maybe you guys can just go ahead and connect us later. We will be able to give you guys a use cases for each and every sectors. And in the manufacturing, sales orders, customer part requests, remittance, and all of these things. And in the healthcare, as I have already given an example, maybe that kind of registration forms, medical bills, maybe the drug prescriptions, all these documents can be processed. I think that was a quick introduction about what is an OCR, what is an RPA, and why we need to have a OCR inside of an RPA. But now, my friend Pavan is going to take from here, and he's going to explain how UiPath has a capability and how it is standing out as a crowd in the industry to get the best results out of from when compared to other OCR uh, engines. Pavan, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you for that very good explanation about usage of OCR technologies along with RPA technology that we are having right now, Divyashree. That was beautifully explained by you. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so now let's quickly jump into the OCR capability that is given by UiPath. That is something which stands out in the crowd compared to other OCR tools in the market. Let me give you explanation of why the UiPath document understanding framework stands out in the crowd and is preferred for almost all the, I mean, for most of the situations or for most of the automations that we are doing. So basically, why we should take UiPath document understanding is it's a composable framework. It's just that right from the beginning where you digitize the document to the export section where you export the document to a downstream application or for your business needs. Until then, everything is customizable. Whatever you want to add it here, you want to add a OCR engine called Abby, or you want to add a OCR engine called AWS Textract, or you want to add a OCR engine called Google Vision. Whatever the OCR engine you want to add, you can add the OCR engine here. Or if you want to have your own customized classification, that also can be taken care. Even along with classification, even for the extraction, if you want to have your custom extractor here, you can add that inside the document understanding framework. And the same goes with validation as well. If you want to have your own customized validation station, you can have that validation station also implemented in this document understanding framework. So that is actually, one of the how do I say this is one of the greatest or this I can say that UiPath has stands out in the crowd just because of this reason, where the document understanding framework can provide all these features to you. So just okay, after saying this, now let's jump into how the document understanding framework looks like for the normal developers. So for a developer point of view, if you think of creating a document understanding framework to extract the information from licenses or from any type of document you want, if you want to do the extraction, basically you can have all these steps present. You will need to have all these steps present in your workflows. First one would be the taxonomy. So basically what taxonomy is, it's just like a blueprint of your house. Blueprint of your house in the sense it's just like what fields you want to extract from the document. So that is where we create a taxonomy where we say what fields needs to be extracted. Is it a table, or is it a text field, or is it some other field that we need to extract the information from? So that's what about the taxonomy, where you build your field structure, how the field should look like. Okay. And once the load taxonomy is done, next part is digitization. So with respect to digitization, UiPath document understanding framework can digitize PDF, TIFF, PNG, or whatever the JPEG, whatever the image formats that you can give it. The UiPath document understanding has the capabilities of We can use different OCR engines. For example, Omni OCR engine, you can use it here, or UiPath document OCR engine. Whatever the OCR engine that you want, you can pick one of the OCR engine. Based on the results from the OCR engine, you can choose among the list of OCR engines that are provided in the UiPath from the UiPath team. So you can utilize those OCR engines to get your document digitized, where the image type of document will be converted into a electric signal document. It will be like the image will be converted into a document type which is readable by a computer language. So that is where the digitization comes into picture. So as soon as you digitize your document, next thing what you want to do is you want to classify the document. Classification in the sense there are different types of classifications. For example, if you want to if you want to classify a document based on the keyword, let's say I want to classify differentiate between a passport as well and a driver license. What you can do is you can use the keyword passport, or you can use the keyword driver license in the document. Use those keywords when you are classifying the document. So basically that will classify the document for you. So as soon as you classify the document, and if you really want to see whether the document has been classified properly or not, in order to get that verification done, what you can do is from the classification, I'm sorry, yeah, from the classification, you can pass it on to validation station, where you can validate whether the document that I have ingested is classified as passport or it has been classified as something else, which is required as per my business needs. It also depends on your business needs whether you want to check for the validate the classification that has happened or not. You can do that validation here. Once the validation is done, the next section is where the actual extraction happens. So once the classification is done, and if you want, you can go for validation, and then you can go for extraction. So in the extraction section, the whatever the information that you want to extract, that is loaded in the taxonomy. Let's say in the taxonomy, I want to extract the passport number and name of the person. So in the extraction section, I'll open a passport file, and I'll take the value in the extraction. I will extract the value for passport as well as for the full name of the candidate. I'll do the extraction of those things. Once the extraction is done, what you can do is you can validate the extracted results based on the confidence level of your document, or confidence level of the value that has been extracted. So by default, all the documents where if you do not set the confidence level, like let's say there is 100% confidence level, you can have it up to 100%. Let's say if the document has less than 60%, you have to push it to the validation. So what happens, whatever the document that have less than 60% of validation for whichever the field, those documents will be pushed into the validation station, and it will be validated manually by a human, and then it will be moved to the export section after the validation is done. So this framework is basically how a developer looks into the document understanding framework. Okay, this is how it is. Can you go to the next slide, Divyashree? Okay, so now the question comes like, how do you do the extraction from structured document and unstructured document, or the semi-structured document? So that is where we have different types of extractors from UiPath, that they are providing us with different types of extractors. Some which are rule-based extractors, model-based extractor, custom extractor, and hybrid approach. So basically, we go for a rule-based extraction when you are extracting the information from a structured form type, where you have regex-based extractor, form extractor, and intelligent form extractor. So the name itself says, the name itself is a self-explanatory here about the regex-based and regex based. So I'm not going to touch more about regex based. So if you come to form extractor and intelligent form extractor, basically the difference between form extractor and intelligent form extractor is, form extractor is this will help you to extract the uh, information from a OCR document. OCR document in the sense when you have a text written in a machine printed language. If the document is of machine printed type, form extractor will be able to help you with the extraction. When it comes to the extraction of not the extraction, when it comes to the extraction of handwritten type of document, or let's say you want to know whether somebody has signed a document or not. So in that scenario, what you can do is you can rely on this intelligent form extractor, where it will give you a yes or no boolean result, whether it will say if the form has a signature present in it, or if the form does not have a signature present in it. So this is how the rule based extraction works. So the next one is model based extraction. Model based extraction, you can use it, it is mainly used for unstructured or the semi structured data, semi structured type of documents. Basically, UiPath will provide you with a different template of ML models, which you can use them or you can modify as per your business needs. For example, let's take a invoice model that has been presented by UiPath. You can utilize the invoice ML model that is being provided, and you can modify it according to your needs. Like, for example, in uh, one of the business requirement, we don't have to extract the invoice number. Instead, we want to extract the table or rest of the other fields when it and not the invoice number. So basically what you can do is you can you can modify your invoice model, ML model that has been designed for invoice. And one more advantage is you don't have to have a data science knowledge to create a machine learning model in UiPath. Basically, they are going to provide you with all the framework and everything that is needed that is needed for you to create a machine learning model. You just have to add your inputs based on your document analysis. So that is where the ML model is very much handy when it comes to the extraction. So now next thing is a custom extractor. Basically, as I said in our previous slides, UiPath document understanding is a consumable framework, which means that you can have your own custom built ML model, or you can have your custom extractor that can be used when it comes to the extraction. So the next one is hybrid approach. So this is something which is this is something which is not I mean, which is unique in the market. If I have to say, it's like you can have both rule based as well as model based extractors in one document, can be used to extract the information from one document. So that is why we prefer to go for UiPath document understanding framework when it comes to the extraction. Okay, this is about the different types of extractors that we have in UiPath document understanding framework. Okay, can you go to the next slide, Divyashree? Okay, thank you. Okay, so now so far we have seen the document understanding framework on framework in the point of developer point of view. Now let's see the document understanding framework, how it is in system point of view. So basically what happens, we will have all the different set of documents present in our emails or maybe in some other location. We just take all those documents and keep it in one we keep it in one folder. That can be a shared folder or into your local folder, wherever you want. You can keep those files from emails or from any other medium, wherever you get the document from. As soon as you keep the files in the location, UiPath robot will pick these files, and it will start with the digitization. As soon as it digitizes the document, the classification will happen. There are different types of classifiers. Some of them are intelligent classifier and keyword based classifier. So in the intelligent keyword classifier, what happens is it will automatically understand what document type it is based on the digitization that has been done and the keywords. It will try to pull the common keywords from the different documents that you ingest, and based on those keywords, it will consider that type of document as one set. So as soon as the document has been classified, the extraction will happen based on your rule based extraction or model based extraction, or maybe based on the a hybrid model or your custom built model extraction. So as soon as the extraction happens, the next thing that's going to happen is validation. So when it comes to validation, there are two different types of validations that we can have. We can have it from UiPath. So one is attended robot validation. The other one is action center validation station. So in the use advantages of using attended robot validation station is that as soon as you run the bot from your machine, you will have to sit in front of the machine until you have the until the document comes to validation station. And as the document comes to validation station, robot will wait for you to verify all the results or verify all the extracted values. And as soon as you do the validation, the robot will take the file into the export section. So that is one type of validation which is called as attended validation. So the other one is action center. Basically, instead of you sitting in front of machine until it comes to the validation station, what you can do is you can ask you can okay you what it will happen is the robot will push every file that are to be validated into a action center, where jobs are created in the action center for the verification purpose. So as soon as all the files that are being pushed into the validation station, so the robot will suspend its job. It will suspend the job as soon as all the files reaches the validation station, and the robot will continue with other process. So as soon as somebody logs into the UiPath Action Center and finds out there are jobs that are pending that needs to be processed, what will happen is uh, after you as soon as you validate, and once if you see there are pages that are to be validated, and as soon as you validate those pages, the next process is you the whatever the robot that has been suspended or whichever the robot which is available in the robot pool will pick the file and continue with the next set of operations as per the business document, or if you want to store the data into a database or to any Excel file. It depends on your whatever the operations that you want to do once the data has been validated. So that is all about the how the UiPath document understanding framework this is in the system point of view. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, okay. So now we have designed a flow using UiPath document understanding framework for this webinar. So basically, what we are doing in this framework is Divyashree, is the video running? Can you go back and start the video? Yeah. Okay, so basically what we are doing here is we are pulling the information from a PDF type of documents and keeping them into one Excel file. So now whatever the file that we have deleted is a result file. So we will pull the information from these PDFs where we are getting the information such as timesheet as well as the employee name and employee ID. All this information we are pulling it from these documents. We are doing it for three different documents, the pulling the information from the document and storing it into an Excel file. Okay, so yeah. So in this example, what we are using is we are using a form extractor to do the extraction from. You can use based on your requirement, and this is the structure how the extraction has been designed, how the document understanding framework has been designed. So as you see the flow, as you run the bot, it will digitize the document and it will do the extraction and it will come to the validation station. So here we are validating across each and every field because we have not added any conditions like to validate it if the accuracy percentage is less than 90 or something like that. So we are just keeping it as default so that it will validate for all the input files that we are pushing into this uh, framework for extraction. Mhm. So here, yeah, here for the table extraction, we have to select the table, and yeah, here we are validating those results compared to the document here. Uh-huh. Okay, so as all the records are validated, so we click on submit, save and submit. So now it comes to the second document, which is named as Darshan. So it is doing the extract. It has done the extraction, classification, and it has done digitization, classification, and extraction. Now it is in validation for this record. So we are validating across all the fields. Divyashree, I think the video is stuck. No. Okay. Okay. The fields are being validated here for all the input fields. Okay. Now the okay extraction is doing. Now it is validating for Sandeep type of document where it is uh, validating across each field. So the right side we have the document, and left side is the field structure. This is something which will be helpful for all the operators who will be doing the validation. So as soon as you validate the document, you will get the option. You will the save option will be enabled for us, so we can save the things here. Okay, so here in the result section, if you can see here, for each type of document, we have colored the results compared to the results from the document. So if you, for a different type of document, so we have mapped them corresponding to those employee IDs, corresponding to the employee IDs. Yeah, see, for Chetan, it was in orange. Now for Darshan, it is in white, and for Sandeep, it is basically in uh, blue. Okay, I think we are done from our end. Thank you for listening to us, guys.